Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on where you're watching from and what time you're seeing this, you're welcome to Trending Gist with Lakeside. If you're joining us for the first time, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And you could hit the notification bell so you are notified when there is a new video. So let's get down to it. Yes, so what's the trending gist for this week? You know, Nigeria is a content creator's paradise. We're never empty when it comes to what to talk about. And the kind of gist where they come out from Nigeria, the kind of gist that make you say, oh my God, you know, that kind, that kind of thing. Like, you wonder if Nigerians are humans, but we are humans. As well, I'm Nigerian, so I am very human. I didn't want to talk about Senator Natasha Akpabio. That's a mouthful. But because the situation is not letting go, I would dabble into it, okay? So it's not new gist, but matters arising from the gist, I just have to talk about it. And for those of you that are new to it, which I doubt, but in case you don't know anything about, I'll just give you a brief recap. So the senator, she represents Kogi Central. Beautiful woman, articulate. She's gone through a lot to be in the Senate. She had to fight a sitting governor just for our nomination or for election to go through. So she's a force to be reckoned with. While in the House, for some reason, they won't let her speak. There was a day she was trying to push on emotion and they won't let her speak, and it resulted in some type of fracas.
Senator may rise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he shall be prepared to.
She alleges that she's been undermined in the House of Senate. And I guess she deduced that the reason that is happening is because the Senate president had made sexual advances at her, and because she turned it down, she's being victimized, and that's what she's alleging.
Matter is not sub judice. It is not before the court. The matter before the court is on the defamation and cyberbullying statements made by your special assistant on new media, Mr. Patrick Umfom, who addressed my decent outfits as transparent, thereby depicting that I walk sedulously and naked to the chambers. That is the nature of the petition of the case in court. This petition, sir, has never been filed. The petition that alleges, or should I say, accuses you of making sexual harassment moves, abusing your office, and making malicious obstructions to my legislative functions has not been tendered anywhere before, no court.
Fast forward to the period of crisis, she was she was suspended from the Senate, which was rather unprecedented because there was no proper procedure to the suspension. Normally, you have to face disciplinary committees and all that, but this was done in one day, very speedily. In fact, she was suspended not because of the accusations she made. She was suspended because of her conduct. The conduct had to do with, they gave her a seat. They changed her seat in Senate. But she didn't want to speak from another seat. She was going to, she stood her ground that, okay, before I move, hear me out, and led to some fracas. The reason I didn't want to talk about it is because the story is kind of multifaceted. And I'm a man. I'm not saying that I side with anything, but just hear me out a minute. On the issue of sexual harassment, I do not believe as a guy, because, and all guys would agree with me on this one, where does it start? Does sexual harassment begin from when I ask you out or when I step to you? Whether you're married or not, that will not be the issue here. If a man tries to woo a lady, is that sexual harassment in itself? If it is, then we are all definitely guilty of it. And for some people, they are just holding on to the fact that Akpabio is the Senate president, by the way. God's will, Akpabio. In my books, and don't quote me anywhere, but in my books, I believe he did what he was accused of. I do not see him as a decent fellow. My opinion, and our opinion is worth nothing really. I'm just spitting, but I do not see him as a decent fellow, and I believe he did what he's being accused of. But does sexual harassment begin just by a man stepping to a woman and asking for sexual favors or trying to woo her? I need to know at the comment section, or does it begin when, due to that rejection, or if he's rejected, he begins to victimize the person? I wouldn't know how to phrase the question, but that's my thoughts right now. Also, the senator in question, she's quite vocal. In a Senate of maybe 104, I think there are only 4 women. And it is sad because she's having zero support. Like, there is no single senator that has spoken on her behalf or tried to defend her. And that speaks of 2 things. It speaks of either absolute corruption on the part of the Senate or a character deficiency on her part. I know people don't want to hear this, but like I said, it's my take. It's trending gist with Lakeside. So it's my take. And I think it's a mix of both. Because if out of 103 persons, not one is defending you, it means you don't have allies. It's a dicey situation for me. You can't be that bad. So it's either you have character flaws, and if you've watched some of our interviews, especially the one she did with Arise TV, I take exception to the fact that as she was being interviewed, the moderators could not moderate her. She went out of her way to have her will done. And while sometimes it is good to be strong-headed, you should know when to pull back. So I'm saying this for people that are strong-willed, strong-headed. You should know when to pull back. You should know when to attack. You should know when to pull back. Because in the minds of some people, that day brought an insight into who she was. Like, nobody could talk to her. They were trying to calm her down. You know, the program had a time limit, and it was just hard to get her to focus, or it was hard to moderate her. But having said that, if she made a claim, the claims should be properly investigated. She has every right to a fair hearing. Every right to a fair hearing. And the reason I decided to speak on this issue, because like I said at the beginning, I didn't want to talk about it. Everybody's talking about it. I didn't think it was necessary to talk about it. But something happened that just raised some real questions. Like, the Nigerian state is in chaos. It's in decay, not chaos. It's in decay. Some people went to our constituency. Oof. Wow, English no kill us for this country. And they had sent out the information that they wanted to empower them. They want to give you guys some form of empowerment.
We are here for an empowerment. We are not supposed to be here for an empowerment. We are giving us instruction to come with our voters card. No, there's nothing like recall. We don't have anything against our senator, for God's sake. So why the recall?
They took people to the collaboration center, deceiving them of doing empowerment, and when many of them, majority of them, get to know that what they want to do is not a normal thing. So
come with your voters card, come with your materials like BVN, your name. So they gave them a form to fill, only for some people to realize that that form, appending your signature to that form, was saying we are withdrawing our veto power, our mandate on Senator Natasha Akpabio. That is downright criminal. To want to go through that route to get her out of the Senate. And you know, you cannot pull this off by yourself. Whoever is instigating this is at the very top. I will say this with my full chest, and that's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. It's no. Let's say she did wrong. She has done she's done all shades of wrong in being in the Senate, and she has stepped on the powers that be. There are cleaner and more sensible ways to get her out. But to go this low, I just like, nah, I have to talk about it. The Nigerian people, please wake up. Nigerians, let's wake up. We must begin to hold our elected officials to a higher moral standard. And I'm speaking specifically to constituents that are, because the shameful thing is when things like this happen. In fact, just after he was accused of sexual harassment, some people came up with an award for him that pertains to being gender friendly. Like, you didn't give him that award last year. You didn't give him the award in January. It was just after he was accused of being of sexually harassing somebody that you are not deciding to, like Nigeria, that country, they tire me. Like, I don't, it's a hard country to understand, really. Immediately a person is accused, a group is coming out to present an award. Is it gender friendly or gender? I don't even know what they call the award, but it was a very stupid award. Very stupid in my books. That you see people protesting for, there are people protesting against. Like, I don't understand. Do not wait until this injustice, because the funny thing is when things like this happen, most people feel it will never get to me. Now them, it happen to. Trust me, one day it will reach your turn. One day it will reach your doorstep. It will get to your doorstep. If it's not you, it's your mom. If it's not your mom, it's your father. If it's not your father, it's your brother or your friend or your spouse. Fight injustice or speak up against it. Some people know it's just because money don't change hand. That they play politics with the team. But look, it will get to your doorstep. If you know it's not right, speak up against it. So I'm calling on the full Nigeria, please. We have not just the girl child, because like I said, this can happen to anybody. Sexual harassment cuts across board. There are guys that have been sexually harassed. Although it happens more to women, but trust me, it happens across board. And as a parent, I wouldn't want it to happen to my male child or happen to my female child. So whenever it's happening, speak up against it. Speak up against it, okay? That's that for that. Like, I have a lot to say, but you know, a lot is my opinion, and I try not to push my opinions on people. So I will just take the facts as easily as I can, so it's easier for you to absorb it. But the truth of the matter is, the Nigerian state is being run like a criminal organization, and it will take. I was going to say it will take God. I don't think God don't come on hand from our matter. The way they go, so. In fact, the way God take come on hand from our matter, it's why this second case is happening. The case between the Rivers State governor and his former, because he has disowned him, his former godfather, some Wike. The shame in being a Nigerian is, if you go back in time, you would see a video or a comment that somebody like Wike has made about godfatherism. That he's fighting against it. That there's nothing like godfatherism in the constitution. That he's being victimized because of one thing or the other. Yet, it is now his turn. He's willing to tear down his state just for power. In fact, at this juncture, I think we should all hail President or former President Goodluck Jonathan. You know, when he did what he did, a lot of people called him a coward. How can you just give up like that? People called him a coward. People called him names, that he didn't have liver. But looking at it now, he's what you call an elder statesman, a true patriot. He had placed the country, he had placed the interest of the country above himself. And that can only be applauded. President Goodluck Jonathan or former President Goodluck Jonathan, I salute you, sir. You are an example to be copied, even though the current barbarians running this country are not attempting to copy you, which is very sad. In the days past, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu issued a state of emergency on Rivers State. Lawyers have come forward, people have come forward to say it is unconstitutional. That constitution does not even exist within the 1999 constitution. Everybody has said it's unconstitutional. In fact, we were waiting on the National Assembly to maybe push back. But you see, that's the problem with corruption. When it eats at your soul, you get to a point where you will do things without recourse, without thinking of the recourse. Our rubber stamp National Assembly vetoed his decision to suspend a sitting governor, his deputy, and the entire National Assembly of that state for 6 months. It is unprecedented and, like it has been stated so many times, unconstitutional. But who will stop it? I can bet you not the judiciary. Even if you go to court, the judiciary will side with him. And these same people would want the common man to follow the law. Look, I wish the gist was, I wish I was talking about Burna Boy and Lamborghini, I swear, because Nigerian gist is tiring, especially when it comes to the political class. They are on another plane. These people, we elect them, but they are not representing our views, our thinking. They just do what they like for money. But how much money really can one have? Because I would like to think that if you have a mandate and you are getting paid well, they are getting seriously paid for it, it should get you to a level where you are strong enough to say, no, my decision on this is this. Nobody can sway that decision. In a house where you have APC, PDP, Labour. In fact, the Labour people, they should be hanged. I don't mean that literally, before they say I'm inciting violence. But I mean the Labour Party, that they would go along with everything APC is putting on the table, it is super scary and very stupid. I make bold to say that. There is zero opposition. No, I mean, they'll just like, can we, if you are for, say yeah, if you're for, say nay. The highs have it. People were clamoring that on this type of issue, the votes should be counted. It should not be a voice vote. It should be vote by ballot. Everybody should cast a vote. It should be counted and verified. And so we will know those that said yes. We will know those that said no. Because posterity and history would be the judge of these people. But no. They went with the voice voting of the eyes have it. Like I said, I wish I had more fun news. I really wish I had more fun news, but Nigeria is in disarray. Nigeria is in disarray. And we need more people to speak truth to power. We need more people. We need the imams. We need the pastors, the bishops. We need civil society to speak truth to power. You cannot be afraid of your life forever. Speak truth to power. And I would like to end on this note. There was a girl that did a video, an NYSC copper. I can't even remember her name because I was not planning to talk about her really. I was just talking about the sadness of the country. This just popped into my mind. And she did a video of how the cost of living is affecting her and how the government is a terrible government, because if they are not terrible, the prices of things will not be going up every day. NYC, we heard, or last year it was approved, or it was promised by the government. In fact, they stated that they've increased Alawi to 77,000. But these people, since last year, they are being paid 33,000. The woman that made that call to that girl, she has not called to find out why they are not being paid 77,000. But she makes a video. A girl makes a video complaining of what is hurting her. And you are picking the phone to tell her to take down the video. Because your own head is not correct. Because I don't see why you would do that. Don't you have children? It is this attitude of keeping quiet, of not speaking up, that our parents did. That even us, my generation, did. Like, we didn't care. We just found a way around it. We learned how to survive. But it landed us nowhere. All we got from it is intense hardship. So I'm saying to the youth, please speak your mind. Speak your mind. Sorosoke. No send anybody. Speak your mind respectfully, but speak it with the intensity of how you feel. Once again, speak your mind respectfully, but speak it with the intensity of how you feel the problem. And I believe as we keep speaking truth to power, especially those that have the position, those that are well positioned in society to speak truth to power. And I will call again traditional rulers, the Oba of Benin, the Oni of Ife, the Olu of Warri, prominent rulers, pastors, bishops, archbishops, priests, imams, speak truth to power. Speak truth to power. I'll end on that note. Once again, it's Trending Gist with Lakeside. Feel free to subscribe, like this video, share to your friends so that we can increase our community. Until we meet again next time, speak truth to power. Thank you very much.